agus bhhailm buíochas a thabhairt den na daoine a bheith gobar ar son an cúis seo na teirliú na Fíoras man rá ó an Gerry amach. I want to pay homage and thanks to the Save Moore Street group, the 1916 relatives, and I want to express solidarity to the Moore Street traders. The scandal, and Ira, that's what it is. It's a scandal that we don't have a proper and appropriate national monument developed on the Moore Street battlefield site. But I also think this is a metaphor for the state that we're in. It says it all. Private developers rule. 100 years later, over 100 years, when the small band of men and women went out and took on the biggest empire in the history of humankind and proclaimed a proclamation which set out a republic which is yet to be achieved, and the governments, successive governments, have yet to develop that site as states everywhere else in the world do so. And the Minister in his remarks lauds the government's 1916 commemoration. Revisionism rules, Minister. Yes, the 1916 commemoration was a wonderful success, but mostly because of the great enthusiasm of people who organised so many events in Ireland and abroad, and the real sense of patriotic and national pride in the men and women of 1916 and the republic which they proclaimed. Do you remember the video which the government used to launch its programme? Didn't even mention the leaders. Do you remember? And such was the outrage that the government then had to change tack. And yes, it was well done eventually. So, here we have it again. The sly way that you're dealing with this bill. You're not opposing it. You're actually kicking it to touch. You're preventing it. You're tabling an amendment that blocks it from going to second, or indeed, probably more accurately, to third stage. So, you have a responsibility, I believe an obligation, to protect national monuments. You have the authority to vest that status in the Moore Street battlefield site. That's what you should do. You describe this bill as an ineffectual gesture, as an unnecessary distraction. What were you doing for the last 100 years, ye and those who preceded you, for the last 100 years? Eh? What were you doing since I came into this chamber? Why did relatives have to go to court? What were you doing? So, Pearse had a word for it, and for this attitude. More Manaira, McLaren Hain, a yield a wahar. Minister, change your mind, support this bill, develop, as is appropriate, a national monument site on the battlefield site at Moore Street.